So you found the perfect German home, and maybe it's near to the scenic park or in a neighborhood bustling with great coffee shops. You're ready to sign the dotted line when, bam, the bank's valuation comes back lower than expected. And suddenly, your dream deal isn't dream anymore. Sound familiar? We've had this in the past for a couple of clients who came to us after the fact. So stick around, because in this video we're going to break down how property valuations actually work in Germany and why they're crucial for your mortgage. Before you pour your life savings into a property, let's make sure you know what you're getting into. Ready? Let's jump right in. Hi, my name is Ajay, and in this channel we'll guide you on how to buy a house here in Germany. Welcome to the channel, where we take German real estate and slice through the red tape. No translator needed. If navigating mortgages in a foreign country feels like you're on a game show you never signed up for, you're not alone. Today's episode is all about valuation. We'll talk about why banks care so much about it, which factors influence it, and why getting a professional estimate before you go house hunting is one of the smartest moves you can make. And if you need any help in financing your next property or your first property, or just want a second opinion which place is really worth it, check out the link in the description. We have access to specialized tools that can give you an accurate read on the property's value well before the official appraisal. Let's get started. So why do we even bother with valuations? Because banks want to protect their investment. If you're asking a bank to lend you hundreds of thousands of euros, they need to ensure the property is truly worth the price. Valuations directly impacts your loan to value, LTV. Basically, what percent of the property is worth, the bank is willing to finance. A lower valuation than expected can mean you either cough up a bigger down payment or face higher interest rates. And here's a pro tip. Consult with a home loan expert who can do a preliminary evaluation before you dive into full-blown financing. That way, you know from the get-go if there is a pricing gap, and you can avoid any last-minute surprises when the bank's official appraisal arrives. I've provided a link to our website below so you can get in touch with us. We also have a tool which would give you a preliminary value. You'll find the link in the description below as well. So who's the wizard behind the curtain setting these values? Enter the Gutachter, or a certified appraiser. They usually apply one of three main methods. The first one is a comparative method, the Vergleichswertverfahren. Perfect for single-family homes. Think of it like checking out the sold listing on your favorite real estate portal and then adjusting for unique features. Second is the income approach, the Ertragswertverfahren, tailor-made for rentals or monthly family homes. It's all about how much rent the property can yield. The third is a cost approach, Sachwertverfahren, mainly for new builds. How much would it cost to rebuild this place from scratch, factoring current materials, current labor costs, and current land values? The appraiser will sift through floor plans, land register details, and energy certificates, and they'll typically do an on-site inspection. The process can cost anywhere between 500 to 1,200 bucks, depending upon property size and complexity, which, by the way, you will not need to bear. That's the bank's part. And remember, you don't have to go through this alone. As a home loan consultant, we've got access to property evaluation tools that can give you a ballpark figure even before the official appraisal from the bank. And if that sounds handy, tap the link in the description. We'd love to walk you through it and help you line up financing that actually fits the property's value. The bank sometimes solely relies on their database before signing off on the loan, so you know. Home loan consultants may have access to the same database, so use them. Now that you know how appraisals work, let's talk about what actually moves the needle on that final figure. It's location, location, location. And this age-old mantra holds especially true in Germany. A property near top-notch public transport, thriving job hubs, expect a minimum price, a premium price tag, not a minimum, a premium price tag. On the flip side, rural gems might come cheaper, but watch out for the fewer comparable in appraisals. Property condition and age. Got recent renovations, energy efficient windows and a fresh coat of paint? Perfect. But if the place screams 1970s time capsule, nothing's been done in the place since beginning of age, expect a very conservative evaluation. And market trends is also a factor. Is the market in your area hot or cooling off? Are people coming in or moving out? Appraisers keep tabs on local demand, and that make or break how high they'll go on the value. Another important factor is the rental potential. For investment properties, especially for them, the income approach is king. Higher rents generally mean a higher evaluation. You also have a look at zoning and land use. Bounce plan, if there's potential for future development, so if you're allowed to build something on top or behind the house or next to it, or if local regulations put strict limits on what you can and cannot do, that needs to be factored in as well. The bottom line here is every property has its own story, and the appraiser's job is to piece it together. If you're feeling like this is a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces, remember we are there to support you from the get-go. Let's tackle some classic blunders people make around valuations, and this is where the initial example came in from. The purchase price is not the evaluation, and that's a hard no. The listing price might be inflated or just wishful thinking. Banks trust the data and not the seller's dream number. Another myth is that any renovation may boost the value, and that's a gray area. Painting the house yellow and green striped? Probably not the best ROI, but upgrading the heating system, more likely to help. Right? So it'll depend on what is being renovated, what's being modernized to actually boost the value of the property, or it just doesn't move the needle at all. Another myth which we always hear is there's always an appreciation, the market is always going up. That's something we hear from the seller side at I think 80%, 90% of the time. But real estate usually trends up in the long term. That's true, but it's not immune to dips. Right? Appraisers consider current market conditions, which can turn sour without warning. Now, let me give an example of, let's say, Wolfsburg. It's been on the news that Volkswagen is cutting jobs, and so bankers are now restricting a bit the values of the properties there because they expect lower demand in future. So that's something they look out for as well. And the banks are not out to get you. Actually, they're mitigating risks for them for sure, but this also means it's for you as well. Because if the evaluation comes in low, it may save you from overpaying as well. Right? So they're your partner and not the enemy. Another thing which we've seen in the past is that clients have been signing off on the deal already without consulting with us. And many folks skip this pre-check done by someone who has specialized access to the software of property valuations like home loan consultants. And that's a missed opportunity. Knowing what your property is likely worth early on lets you negotiate better and plan your finances properly. In some cases, we tell our clients, look, it's a perfect deal. It's 50K, 100K below market value, go for it. Option number one. Option number two is, look, you're overpaying by 100,000 bucks. Better negotiate or have us negotiate on your behalf. I don't like to pay more than I need to. And if any of these pitfalls sound a little too close to home, rest assured you can sidestep them. Just hit the link below and we'll help you navigate the evaluation and financing process from start to finish. Let's recap. Property evaluations in Germany isn't just a side note, it's the main act that sets the stage for your mortgage. Banks rely on professional appraisers who look at location, condition, market trends, and more to determine how much they're willing to lend and at which price point. If there's one golden rule here, it's to get a proactive evaluation before you knee deep in financing negotiations. Home loans consultants like us have specialized tools that give you a heads up on your property's true value. So if you get in touch with us, have a consultation with us, we'll evaluate the property on your behalf and see, does the wishful thinking of the seller actually match the market value and the buying value, the property's true value. No one nasty surprises when the bank's official number rolls in. So if you're ready to buy or even just thinking about it, drop by the link in the description and we'll help you make sure your dream home aligns with both your budget and the bank's evaluation standards. And with this said, see you next time.